So, hello dear students, welcome back to this online session of learning. So, today I am gonna teach you this poem in elementary school classroom in a slum. So, in fact, as far as this poem is concerned, you must have remembered that in the beginning, when we had started teaching online, it was decided that a YouTube link of the chapter would be shared with the students. So that's what I had done at that time. I had shared link of this poem, and in this way you were taught this poem. But after that, what I have felt that most of the students are finding different difficulties in understanding this poem. Whenever we have doubt session in a school, there are students who are bound to ask questions from this poem. So that is why today I thought to teach you this poem myself. The poem is slightly tricky, difficult poem is there. The entire poem is very much symbolic. So that is why I would cover this poem quite slowly in these videos. This poem would be covered in month. In fact, I'm teaching once in a month. So every time only one paragraph would be covered. So in this way, chronologically, this poem would be completed. Now let's understand what is the theme of this poem. So this poem, first of all, the poet of this poem, Stephen Spender, is this of this poem, and he in fact talks about the pathetic predicament of slum students who are studying in elementary school. What is elementary school? Like, we have basic schools, primary school in our country. Likewise, in foreign country they are called elementary school. You must be well aware with the condition of basic schools, elementary school, how in fact education takes place there, what are the facilities, amenities to be provided to the student. You must be knowing very well. So such pathetic tale, such pathetic condition of slum children has been shown in this poem, that how these innocent small children are deprived of the essentials of education. Even they don't get those things which are the basic most. Alright, so this pathetic predicament has been shown in this poem. So now let's study this poem. See what is written here. Far, far from gusty wave these children's faces. So straightforwardly, there is a description of slum classroom. Slum, slum dog millennia. You must be knowing Joggi area is called slum. So in that area there is a school, and in that school, here there is a description of a classroom. So see, far, far from gusty wave these children faces. So there are some children who have been attending this class, and now what is mentioned here? Far, far. Straightforwardly, repetition, poetic device is there. From gusty wave. Gusty means strong gushes of air, strong blows of air. Alright, so these children are remote far from strong gushes of air. Alright, it means, what is Stephen Spender trying to prove through this line? He is trying to prove that this slum classroom where students are being taught, this classroom is in fact ill lit and ill ventilated. There is no way for fresh air to come in, and this is the reason it's mentioned that these slum children are remote far from the fresh gushes, means strong blow of air. Alright, like rootless weeds. Now one after one student, there is a description of 4 students who are in that class. Many students are there, but now we have been told the description of 4 students. So here we have student number 1. Like rootless weeds, the hair tone round their paler. Alright, in fact it's for all the students. It's for all the students. So these students have unkempt hair. Unkempt means uncombed hair. Their hair is not combed, and see, their uncombed hair has been compared with a rootless weed. What is rootless weed? You must have seen whenever grass gets dried and then it gets uprooted, and remain scattered around the ground. Alright, in very much unorganized way, this dry grass remains scattered around the ground. So the hair of the students has been compared with the same uprooted, scattered, dry grass. Alright. So, and in fact, you must have seen the way, in fact, poor people, poor children, in fact, remain their hair remain scattered around their face, and here see their faces have been called pallor. Pallor means yellowish, discolored, and why they are yellowish, discolored? Because of malnutrition. So, over on their malnutrition faces, their hair remains scattered like rootless weeds. Comparison is there, like is there, simile is there. The tall girl with her way down head. Now this is student number one. Student number one is actually a tall girl, and she is sitting way down head. Her head is down with a weight. You can be asked what weight is there on her head. So she has weight of poverty, disease and despair. She has weight of poverty, disease and despair. So with this load, she is unable to sit straight. Her head is down. This weight is there on her head. Now see student number second. The paper seeming boy. Or like metaphor. Thinness of student has been shown by calling him the paper seeming boy. Metaphor is here. Alright, so this thin boy with rat's eyes. He has rat's eyes, again metaphor is there because his eyes have been called rat's eyes. Now question must be, why has his eyes been called rat's eyes? The reason is, in his eyes the same characteristic is found. In fact, characteristics are found which are found in the eyes of rats. Number one, never satisfying hunger. Hunger is gleaming in the eyes of this child. Hunger is there. And second, sense of insecurity. Already this boy in fact seems to have sense of insecurity. So because of these two reasons, his eyes have been called rat's eyes. Number one, sense of insecurity. And number two, what is that? Their sense of insecurity. Number two, what is number two? What I've told, hunger, never satisfying hunger. Fine. Now let's see student number third. The stunted, bent, crooked. So stunted, he is crooked, bent. Why he is not straight? Because he has a disease of deformed body, bent bones, somewhat resembling rickets. In rickets, bones get twisted. So that's what he has. He has body of twisted bones and unlucky heir of twisted bones. He is unlucky heir of twisted bone. Why has he been called unlucky heir? Heir means inherit, and a student, this is pronounced heir, not hair. So he is unlucky heir of twisted bones because see, what we inherit from our parents, we inherit their characteristics, their wealth, their property, their good features. But what this unfortunate child has inherited from his father, he has inherited his disease of twisted bones, crooked bones. So this is the reason he has been called unfortunate, unlucky heir of twisted bone. So what is he doing? He is reciting a father's gnarl disease. He is in some classroom and he is reading the symptoms of a father's gnarl disease. What is gnarl? Of course, it's disease of crooked bone, bent bones. Alright, in which bones get twisted. That's what is called gnarl disease. So see the irony of this expression. The child is reading the symptoms of the same disease he is suffering from. In book, description of a father is there. And of course, let me tell you, this father is not his own father. How can we make it out? See, written our father. Our father means any another father is there. He is not his own father. So description of any father is there. And this father has the same disease the child is suffering from. And he is reading symptoms of that disease in this way, which poetic device is there, irony is there. All right, what is doing? He is reading his lesson from his desk. So this child is reading his lesson from his desk. Fine. And now see, in the end, child number 4's description is there. All right. So child number 4, what is doing? He is at back of the dim class, unnoted, sweet and young. Then in the class, one unnoted child is there. Why he has been called unnoted child? Because unlike others, he has not submitted himself to his poor destiny. When we assess other students' enthusiasm toward their life, that seems to have been ebbed completely. Alright, completely ended. There does not seem to have any joy in their life. They seem to have submitted themselves to their circumstances. But in this regard, this child is different. How is different? He has dreams and desires in his life. He wants to enjoy this life, this nature. How? Let's study. At back of the dim class, one unnoted, sweet and young. One unnoted child is there. He is sweet and young. His eyes live in a dream. He has dream of a squirrel's game in a tree room. What dream he has? He wants to live in open world, the way a squirrel lives in a tree room. Tree room, that empty hollow place in a tree where squirrels are found playing. So the way a squirrel plays in open world in trees room, likewise he wants to play in open nature. Alright, he wants to have fun and frolic in open nature. Alright. Other than this, and this is the reason, he is other than this, his life is different from others. He does not want to live the way others want to live. So in this way, there is a description of 4 students. Alright, but student number 4 is completely different from others. So this is the paragraph number 1. In this video, we'll keep this much. Thank you so much for watching it. Have a nice day. बंद हो जाना यार, बाहर आ जा, घुस गया दुश्मन।